If your YouTube feed is anything like mine, then I'm sure it's filled with ads of people trying to get you to click to register for their masterclass or take up their course to show you how they made $100,000 in a single day. And I think the standard has become so unrealistic of what you can actually achieve for the people who are trying to get into making money in a different way or making money online. And it's so easy for us to get discouraged from what is actually realistic. Now, it's super important to have really high goals, but I want to share with you my story on how I started making money on Amazon and how I struggled with comparing myself to other people and thinking I wasn't good enough or wasn't doing enough, and how you can apply that to your own journey. And I'm going to share with you 2 realistic ways that you can go about making $10,000 a month on Amazon in Australia. Now, before we get into the first tip, if you guys want somebody to hold your hand and show you through the process in the quickest way possible, we're about to start our next cohort of our accelerator program. Now, this is where we take a small cohort of people and we help them launch onto Amazon with a small quantity of products. I give you person-to-person coaching and an actual way to contact me and a team of Amazon experts, as well as lessons that you go over each week to meet the deadline. So if you want someone to give you that little bit of an extra hand, the program launches in 3 weeks before we close it for that cohort. Check it out. It's the link down in the bio. But let's get into the first way that you can go about making $10,000 a month on Amazon Australia. Now, firstly, and this is the quickest way, but also the way that doesn't apply to most people, is launching one product and having it make you $10,000 a month in profit on its own. Now, I do know people who have gone out and it's either their first or their second product and they've launched it and it's been an absolute home run, okay? They did good product research and there is a little bit of luck to it, okay? Their bet that they placed, they went out and it was successful and they made that amount of money. Now, you need to keep in mind that when I say it's making $10,000 a month profit, I teach people that they should run their products at a minimum, maybe slightly less, but a minimum 30% profit margin is always fantastic to aim for. So when you're making $10,000 a month profit, you're actually making $30,000 a month in sales. Now, the reason that I say that this way is not as common for most people is because, one, it's a lot of money, okay? So it's not easy to accomplish in one go, okay? By doing that, you're doing over 6 figures a year in profit, okay? That takes time to acquire a skill to get a product that's going to do you that amount of money. So usually it's going to take more upfront capital because you're going to have more stock to be selling through. So you're going to be spending more money upfront, which most people can't do. And there's a select few who can spend a lot upfront, get lucky that the product's not a failure, and then end up making that 6 figures profit a year from one of their first couple of products. Now, the other way, and if you're anything like me, when I first started on Amazon, I just wanted to go out and build a brand that was going to make me an extra $1,000 a month profit to bring into my income. Now, I was still studying and working a job at the time, so I was very busy, and I know there's lots of you out there that are also very busy, so you might not have all the time in the world to make Amazon your full-time job from the very start. And I'd seen these guys out there saying you can make $100,000 a month in your very first month, and I knew that it was total bullshit, so I didn't have my expectations that high from the start, and I went in and I created this little ice pack that keeps your drinks cold, and I sold it, and I actually got it up to $5,000 a month in sales, okay? Now, although this wasn't huge money, it was fantastic for me. It was $5,000 that I'd made online, some of it whilst I was asleep. And at the time, I sort of sat down and I compared it to how many hours I would have had to work at my job at a Woolworths in order to make that same amount of money. So I sat down and I did the maths, and I think it worked out to be 200 hours or something, okay? Which is ridiculous. Do you know how many groceries I would have had to scan and how many rewards cards I would have had to ask for? So making that $5,000 online was amazing for me. And remember, this was at about a 30% profit profit margin. So it was actually $15,000 a month profit and about $18,000 a year in profit, which isn't too bad, right? It's smaller than what we're doing now, but at the time it was amazing for me. And I know for some of you, you'll be like, well, yeah, that's cool, Lockie. It's a bit of money. Being like, I want to learn how to make more. I want to know how to make $10,000 a month. And look, I hear you, okay? But the thing was, in that first year, I'd learned how to do it. And so I went into my second year and I launched another 2 products that made me another $1,500 a month profit each. So by the end of that year, we were now at $4,500 a month profit, which was $54,000 a year in profit, okay, which has gone up heaps. Like for me, again, that was insane. And I sat down, compared it to my job, and it was ridiculous how many hours I would have had to work to make that same amount of money. And I'm sure you can sort of see where this is going now, because then I went into my third year and I was able to launch another 3 products that were doing the same amount of profit. So now with more experience, I was able to grow this little side hustle into $9,000 a month profit and $108,000 a profit per year, which is insane, right? In 3 years' time, just by going little step, learning a little bit more experience, we were able to grow a business that was doing 6 figures profit per year. Now, if I asked you right now, would you be willing to spend 3 years of making mistakes and learning? At the end of it, you would have a business that you could run from anywhere in the world as long as there was an internet connection, and it would be making you 6 figures a year profit. Yeah, absolutely, right? Anyone would do it. So it takes that little bit of extra time that isn't what everyone tells you, okay? Everyone wants you to sign up or buy the course by saying, hey, you can make 100K in your first month, 10K in your first month. And then when you don't hit it, people are discouraged and they quit. So if you can be amongst that 2% of people who say, okay, I failed here, but now I know what it takes to do it next time. And you can spend a couple of years learning this process, building it up, reinvesting in it, and that is how you hit those big life-changing numbers. So when you launch your first product and it only does $1,000 in sales maybe in your first month, don't be discouraged, okay? That's where I started. My first product that was my test one absolutely flopped and I lost a heap of money on it, okay? So just think that when you're going there and you're being an entrepreneur, you are paying for your education, okay? You might fail, you pay money, you get a product, you get stock, and you're paying for your education, and the day you quit is the day you decide to stop paying to learn. So for those people who want a real business, who don't want to get it by being lucky and don't have tens of thousands of dollars to risk up front on an idea when they don't know how to run it, this is the most realistic way for you to still achieve high goals that 99% of the other population are too scared to chase. So fuck what the people around you think, fuck what your family, your friends are saying, like, oh, look, he's been going for 3 years and he's only doing this amount, or look, that one's failed, this one's failed. They don't see the hard work you're putting in, they don't see the compounding interest, the compounding business that you're building up. And if you put in that time, the results will come. So if you guys want to take part in that accelerator program, make sure you check that link down below. It's the fastest way for you to get a product live with expert coaching. But otherwise, I'm so proud of you guys for watching this video. For me, this is one of the most important videos that I've made, and I hope that it helps you shift your mindset to actually see how well you're doing and not compare yourself to all these people on the internet that you have no idea how their journey has gone. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited to see you in the next video. And remember, you're only one product away from living the life of your dreams. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Peace.